Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I am joined by the amazing Medium Betsy Palmer.
Aloha, everybody.
Hello,
Thank you,
hello.
Gerald.
Well,
So nice
thank
to see you
you.
today, sir.
And so I'm Taro Sash. Thank you for being here. We're doing sort of a part two from the silly casual we did last week because we had an opportunity. Our schedules opened. And the universe is just like, why don't the two of you do something together? And I went, yes, please.
Yay!
So, yeah. And so, all right. So, let me ask you, how have you been feeling with all of the energy going on around?
Well, weirdly enough, I'm feeling pretty balanced about it.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly enough, I'm feeling like if America is a movie, that we have reached a plot twist that is not quite at the pinnacle yet, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be an exciting ride.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I have been taking care of myself and making sure I am limiting my time of consumption from online information
Yeah.
because that can lead me down weird stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. You cannot make me. So I'm doing that. And, but
Did
I,
uh,
go ahead.
uh, did you notice that it was like this weird pause, like the buzz and the hum of what typically is like gnawing away at the back of us with all the yada 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 yada. When the stuff hit the fan, to me, I got this like the record stopped everything,
Yeah.
and everyone is reassessing, and it's just like this still point for a moment. Did anybody else feel that?
That's I like the way you describe that, Betsy, because I think that's a lot of it. A lot of it is sort of it was like, what? It's where you go, what? And
Well, yeah.
so
I kept doing replying to everything with um, Wesley from The Princess Bride going, "As you wish."
ah, yeah, yeah. And I mean this goes really nicely. Last time we talked about creativity and we talked about the importance of being creative and doing creative things. And creative things really help ground us because we've talked about grounding and shielding and protection. And I think creativity comes into play with that as well, because when things switch up really quickly, it's our opportunity to go, well, okay, we're gonna pivot and we're gonna do it this way coming forward. So um and yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah. So last time we talked a lot about forms of expression of creativity, and
Mhm.
today I'm kind of leaning towards um, what is your choice of creating?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. What is it you want to create around you?
Yes.
Um, and how do we respond, and also just flat out the decisions that you make about what you're creating in your life, big picture, little picture. I'm still working pretty hard on the little picture stuff, I
Mhm.
still have my moments. ah, and
Well,
and
yeah.
I reflect on, and it's typically what I say in that creativity avenue of spell casting with my open mouth insert foot. I do that a lot. Um, I used to have a little sign up on my door, so theoretically it was the last thing I would see before I went out in the world, and it said, "Dear God, please keep your arm around my shoulder and your hand over my mouth." So
Yeah.
that's my Achilles heel with creativity, is my lack of filter.
Well, but I will gently push back on that, because you and I backstage were talking about, you were connecting this morning and you were listening to what you were being told, so you adjusted what you did. You created a new experience with that, and that is something that has helped you with, you know with everyday life, and with grounding and centering. I think that's really important to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, um, we've had a few people come in. Viviani is here. Hi, Viviani.
Hello.
Lady Silver, good to see you. Tropical Empress and Spirit. Pamela Batchelor is here. And Linda Kennedy.
Hello.
And Jana remembered JFK's death. Human reactions are barely studied. Sylvia from Color for Foresight is here. Hello. And Beth Aspasia Rising.
Hello.
So, and going back to this idea of, there's this, it's like that creativity, and it's what we put out there is the energy that we get more of.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things that I like the idea of it. It is important periodically to, I have to stop talking long enough to listen to what I have been saying. I don't know if anybody else does that, but sometimes I'm talking so much, I'm not actually hearing what the energy I am actually manifesting. So, um, and it's one of those things to where, when I listen to what I have surrounded myself with, that actually gives me an opportunity to go. It's like weeding the garden. It's like, oh, okay, this is not what I want to have planted. Sylvia said yes. So it's that idea of stop talking long enough to go, huh, what is it that's rattling around in my head? What have I put in there? What have I let loose? And
Yes.
yeah, and what have I let loose? Because guess what? I have the ability to change all of that.
Yes.
And I am the first to admit, when I'm tired, when I'm hungry, when I'm having a low blood sugar, I am not thinking clearly, and I get, what do they call it? Hangry.
Mm.
We get hungry, angry,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, I'm still upset that after kindergarten we never had the afternoon naps. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Siesta time. It's a real thing.
yes, yeah. Pamela said, poetry gives me strength right now. Very nice. Pamela, is it poetry that you're reading, or poetry that you're writing, or both? Because poetry is a creativity. So I think that's absolutely perfect. Sylvia said, I am wondering if our wisdom through spirit guides sometimes comes out quicker than what our personality self can catch up with it too.
God, I wish that was me. My spirit guides say so much better stuff than I do.
But this is a really interesting thought. This is a really interesting thought. And it's almost like, it's like when I'm too tired, I can't hear the messages that I need to hear.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my real downfall with all of this is when I'm trying to be put myself out there. I tend to talk way too much, and yeah, I just I come home and I'm like, God, you're that know-it-all nobody likes talking to. Shut up. Stop talking. Yeah. It's when I'm trying to people in 3D is when I get in trouble with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you notice when you're getting that way?
Yeah, but usually it's a bit late because
Okay.
it's usually when I get the visual cues from the people around me. It's like, oh God, I've done it again.
Well, and and the fact that you can laugh about it is helpful. It's just like, oh geez, I've done it again. I hear you. I
I'm
hear you.
nowhere near
Yeah.
as the level I used to be. But I learned from a master. My mom was the champion of being able to say the one thing in a crowded room of conversation that everybody would just stop and turn and go, "What?" And the room would disperse. So I learned from the best.
Yeah. And Sylvia says I can relate to that too, Betsy. And talking. And of course, Beth is saying, no, darling, you're a Leo.
Times four.
Oh, four times four. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tropical Empress in Spirit said, I notice when I'm busy doing other things, I don't pick up the energies and downloads as easily as I do when I'm alone or relaxing. I tend to get downloads in my sleep and will wake up It's on my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Pamela Batchelor said, mostly for comfort right now. It's my favorite poems I always fall on. I do write poetry as well, tarot or oracle inspired. I love that.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So, um, and um,
Linda Kennedy said, right, the next one. That's hilarious.
I think of all these things that need to be done or that I want to do or I think I should be doing, and then I take a nap.
Yeah, that's all of us.
Yeah.
That is all of us.
Well, and I have found for me is because I am in my head a lot even when I'm trying to create, and if I'm thinking instead of using my hands to actually do the creation, I get very overwhelmed and the energy just gets too chaotic is not the right word. It just gets too
Is it the inner critic?
well, it might be the inner critic, because it's the one that's not allowing me to start, and I'm not doing anything, so I can't shut it up.
Because it might not end up perfect.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah, and
Oh, that one well.
yeah. So it's one of those things that, but I have found that if I do get caught up in that inner critic, I have to do something physically with what I am thinking about. If I haven't drawn anything, I need to make sure that I draw it and do something with it. I need to get my hands on some fabric, or I need to take a nap. Seriously. So
Yeah. And when my inner critic is really screaming at me, I realize that I have to just walk away, even for 5 minutes. Just
mhm.
detach from things and come back to it whenever I feel inspired to, even
Yeah,
if it's not for a long time. But I I don't do well fighting my inner critic. I just end up making mistake after mistake. And when I was making jewelry, trying to push through, I just got to get this last couple things.
yeah.
Oh, disaster. Because then you have to go back and redo it all. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Linda Kelzer is here. Hi, Linda. Pamela said, I've been seeing YouTube videos of painting a branch and slapping it on a canvas. I really want to slap some branches at the moment. And that means putting paint or ink on a branch and doing it. I've seen some of those videos as well. So But I have to be careful with that because if I'm watching them too much, I'm not doing my own creativity. And then I go, well, I can't do what they're doing, so I don't do it at all.
Yeah.
So,
There was a Japanese art form that was really popular here for when I was first coming to Hawaii in the early 90s. And I think it's really ancient, but they would put ink on sea animals and then press it on the paper, and it had to be perfect. So imagine
wow.
inking an octopus and then laying it out and pressing it into the paper so there was no smudge. Every single detail, every sucker, every tentacle was perfect. That was a big thing here. I can't
Wow.
imagine. To me, that's just like, ugh. I mean, I don't have the patience to paint my toenails. So, geez, I
I,
can't imagine.
yeah. Janice said, I am using neurographic drawing. I am creatively constipated. I figure one step at a time. That's good advice.
What
One,
is neurographic drawing? Sorry, I interrupted you. What is that? I don't know what that is.
I used to remember it, but I don't. I can, Jana, what is neurographic drawing? If you can do that. Hypnicity is here. Hello. And Pamela said, yes, that's my issue, Gerald. The actual action of and the doing.
Beth, I don't think the animals had much say in it at that point.
Yeah.
They were all Maki. So, yeah.
Mm. So neurographic drawings. Oh, that's interesting. I'm writing that down so that I have it.
Yeah, I put my phone on airplane so I wouldn't get texting, so I can't Google it right now. But somebody will put it in the chat for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to it's very easy. You let the lines go where they will at first. And Green Aventurine Tarot is here. Hello. Good to see you. But I do love that idea. And we talked about this last time, Betsy. Getting, and then you round off the angles. Oh, I think I've seen some videos on this, but I don't recall what it is. But I love the idea of just getting a writing utensil on paper. It's extremely helpful. And then you see what you have. Okay. It's interesting. So
So it's like kind of like it, automatic writing I enjoy. So it's kind of like that, but with drawing.
I think
Seems
so.
a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Linda Kelzer says, right now I'm drawing and coloring with crayons to connect more with my inner child. Good for you.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Um yeah, so didn't we that was something we were talking about last week was getting to that point of innocence. And
Yes,
how
it
that
was actually connection to divine innocence.
yes.
Yep. Yep. And yes, we're in the middle of July, so we're going to start seeing back to school specials. And I'm a person who I go to the after school sales because I don't have kids in school. So I want everybody to get what they need, and then I can get what I need or what I discover on sale.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's really cool. Thank you.
So, yeah. And I've loved hearing the videos of all Jung having his patients explore themselves through art. Mm-hmm. And Linda is also talking to her inner child while coloring.
I love that. That is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that okay, so this I'm kind of zinging in before we came on when we were backstage, Gerald and I were talking and about the balance in the world, and that was something that came up about yeah, we hear all the chatter, but it's also the equal amount of other is happening. And that was the first thing that I was shown was somebody taking a moment of kindness for a child in need. And so
Mhm.
this to me is you also creating the world you want to see by taking time to spend time with that child.
Yes. Yes. And just being in the same space, you know? Yeah, that's exactly right. Um, and Tropical Empress and Spirit says, I draw like a little kid, LOL. Working on creating my own deck has been a great pleasure, but I laugh at myself when I look at what I created. I'm better with words than with drawing and painting. Well, I mean, every famous artist started with drawings that weren't great per se, but they kept showing up. They kept doing it.
Yeah, and let's all just think a moment about the work of Keith Haring.
Yes, yeah,
Stick figures,
yep. Stick
but
figures. Yeah,
enormously expressive.
yes, yes. It seems like the most important thing ever right now, Betsy. Taking that time with the child. Yeah.
Innocence, connection, yeah.
Yep.
And extending kindness, yeah. Extending kindness in general.
Yeah, and I like that. How often are we not extending kindness to ourselves? We forget. We do it with others, but it's like, well, wait a minute. Start with ourselves. We have to fill our own cup up before we can fill others up.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so
And for all the folks that say kindness isn't reciprocated or kind people are taken advantage of and blah blah blah, but I think if we just walk back and kind of review the evidence in our lives about when we're out there and we're responding to situations with kindness, and then how many times have you been surprised by the kindness of someone else, that they extended a kindness to you or they responded you in a much softer way than you anticipated, and we don't really make that connection. It's not as obvious, it's a little more subtle,
mhm,
but it
yeah,
really is the synchronicity of the universe demonstrating back to us, right?
yes. I think synchronicity is a big thing. Um, we need to keep showing up, because if we don't show up, we miss those synchronicities. So, and Pamela did say, plus to meet kids where they are at showing interest in their world. Yeah, and listening to them.
Yeah, validating that their presence is important.
Yes. Well, and I think it's one of those things that we have plenty of opportunity if we're open enough to listen to, if we ask questions of children and we listen to the answers, we can get a lot of insights. A lot of insight. Hi, Mandy, Spiritual Tarot and Mystic Oracles. Good to see you. Good to see you. So,
Lots of new names this summer. I
yeah.
know that the chatters kind of cycle through. People come in and get what they need from creators, and
Hmm.
but I'm seeing so many new names now. But I'm
Love
not.
it.
I'm also not doing a whole lot. All right, on YouTube right now. Gerald is the one that um
I keep inviting.
we're spending time with Gerald, guys. That's just it. I
Aw.
just adore him. I adore this person.
Oh, thank
Worship him
you.
wherever he is.
Janice said, I have moved to a condo to help myself. The neighbors are so very kind. And yeah, working on a new name as well. Sure. I mean, and I think that can be a lot of fun. Can be
Yeah.
a whole lot of fun. It's like it's that idea of it's almost like creating a superhero name. What would your superhero name be, and what would your powers be? And then it's just like going, um, so, and Beth
Yeah.
said, apparently I'm very needy. LOL. No cycling through here.
I am too.
Yeah. There you go. Pamela said, I'm so glad Gerald pulls you out to visit us, Betsy. I always love seeing you.
Thank you.
Yes. And the amazing Regina's Tarot and Wirecraft is here. Hello, Regina. And they are work lurking. Speaking of creativity, Regina is probably creating all sorts of stuff. And so that's cool. And so what, one of the things that Betsy and I were also talking about is this, like, going, okay, I mean, what would you like to create? What do you want to create? What would you like to create now? Because there's a huge opportunity there. Oh, Pamela says, I'm trying to come up with Betsy's superpower persona name.
Well, I'll give you a hint. No, not a hint. Here, I'll give you. Here's my wallpaper right now. Whoops. What the heck happened there? Oh, here's my wallpaper right now.
Okay.
It's Leo season. It's me. So rawr, rawr. There you go.
I love it. And Linda Kennedy said, my superpower name is Meemaw, and my superpower is rocking my grandbabies.
There you go. There you go. Dig it.
I like that.
That's awesome.
And Tropical Empress said, I did just move an hour away from where I used to live to get away from the busy lifestyle to give me a chance to go deeper with my spirituality, etc. And I'm in cow country and love it. Yeah.
Cows are awesome.
Yeah. So, and there you go, Leo lady.
Lady Leo. There you go.
Lady Leo.
Sound like a red bear.
Yes. And Linda De Gonzalez is here. Hey, Linda. Last time we talked about creativity and connecting to divine innocence. What is it that you want to create now? This is something that we're thinking about. And what is it that you want to create now? So,
yeah.
So, I really want to say that I always think on how Gerald has such kindness and includes everyone. It warms my heart. Oh, well, thank you.
Me too.
So thank you. Beth wants to know, Tropical Empress in spirit, which state do you live in? If you're okay with that. So, because I love this idea of is what do we want to create? Because the creation process takes many different forms, and everybody who's watching this has their own process, and all of those are valid, really, really valid, because what works for you may not work for me, and what works for Betsy may work for you, or you may be inspired and do something of your own with it. I'm a big person who I love to build on what the energy others have around, and
yeah.
So
take what works for you and build on it. Absolutely.
Yep.
I love the bumper sticker spirituality of what you want wants you.
Ooh, I like that.
So yeah, and it's the law of attraction, right? What you want wants you. What you put out there comes back. Tell the universe what it is you want, and the universe can say, "Okay, let's get it to you."
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Well, and along with that, part of the creative process is we have to keep showing up, and we have to keep working at creating the environment, exercising, doing different things to allow us to have the skill set to be able to deliver what is necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a child prodigy, so I have to work at things. So Oh, here you go. Blue Wave Nini Runner.
Nene, yeah, our
Nene.
geese, Nenes. Yeah. Blue Wave Nene Runner. That's a lot. That's a lot.
There you go. That's fun though. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I think I could see Lady Leo of the Waves.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. If they taught this at school at young age, it would save time.
Yeah.
Yes, I could see that, and it's certainly different than um, it doesn't go to standardized testing, so not trying to get any controversy there, but that's where I think that science, arts, music, athletics are all things that help kids get in connection with their bodies and doing it in a different way. Let me tell you, I think some of the most creative scientists are the ones who they're also musicians. They have this creative spark that follows them around.
Yes.
So I just love to scribble on paper. Sometimes it's drawing stick figures or writing words continuously. It opens the door for me to create and receive downloads. Yes. My friend Tracy, who is a teacher, she told me that around 7 or 8, children go through something called the crisis of realism, where they realize their artwork is different from reality. Okay. So, and Linda likes your cool name, Lady. Yeah, Lady Leo.
Lady
So,
Leo of the Waves.
Lady Leo of the Waves. I wish they'd teach meditation and yoga in grammar school.
You know
Yes.
something, guys, you're gonna crack up. My mom always sent my sister and I to workshops constantly. But when I was like 12 years old, I remember spending the day, and I don't remember my sister being there, but I remember spending the day with a woman who did yoga and astrology and um, talked about nutrition. And I don't remember a lot of what she said, but I do remember she made us all stick our tongues out and she would look at our tongues to see what kind of shape we were in. And I didn't think anything of it when people would say, "Really, who's this lady?" And I said, "Her name was Adele Davis." And she was like, I mean, she was huge in the 70s. Let's eat right to
Uh
keep
huh.
fit. She was like
Sure.
she was on the cutting edge. And it was, I don't even remember where it was. People are like, no, that can't be real. But it's one of those little memories that's rolling around in
Sure.
you somewhere. Like, I just thought she was a nice lady.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, she had that nice little quirk about her, and it was comfortable. So, and
Yeah.
Sylvia did say, "I feel going forward, cooking is coming back in school yet, not just for girls. The same with bringing workshop building things again, not just for boys." Yes, I think having, let's face it, I think a home cooked meal, that's a whole lot of great creation and a whole lot of energy available to it. So I think that's cool. Oh, and Beth used to teach yoga to middle schoolers and high school kids for years. That's great.
Nice.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Tropical Empress in Spirit. Is your name Amanda? I can't remember. But said, when I lived in California, I had a fourth grade teacher who was an art teacher, but she was my math teacher that taught all subjects. She would save class time to teach art for us to create. Loved her.
Nice.
Nice. And Mousy is here. Hi, Mousy. Candy Soul and Soil is here. Hello, Candy. Great to see you.
Oh,
Candy, we're building from our last conversation about creativity, and now we're asking, what would you like to create? What would you like to create? And Hypnicity said, that would have been great. My high school years were plagued with being bullied. Having a way to cope with that would have helped immensely. Yes.
I was on the bottom of the pile in my school. Trust me.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And
thinking of,
no, wait, you go.
no, you first.
Well, Gerald and I were toying. We're toying with the idea of doing readings, so we never
Mhm.
really officially decided. But it feels like we're kind of halfway through. So
Yes.
throwing it out there, but about creating.
And we had talked about if you wanted like spirit guide information to support you in creating what you want to create.
Yeah. And
So,
what do you want your world to be? I'm a big believer in we're co-creators with everything.
mhm,
And 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 it goes back to the difference between destiny, fate, and free will. Destiny, your soul's plan for your incarnation this time around. Fate,
mhm,
the lessons required for that expansion experience, and free will about the path you choose to take for the lesson. Which it doesn't
mhm.
matter if you go left or right, the lesson is there. It's just a different angle.
Yeah, yeah,
So I believe we're always co-creating that, and knowing what it is you want can be really helpful for the universe, so it can help bring it to you instead of just throwing stuff at you constantly. Is this it? Is that it? Is this it? Is that
yeah,
it? What about
yeah,
this? Try that. Da 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 da. Mm,
yeah.
Mary.
Yeah. Beth said, I def believe we are co-creators. Doors open, doors close. We choose what to do.
Yeah.
So, and we have this question from Hypnicity. So, but we want to look at, we really want to look at this. What's your spirit guide information about what you are wanting to create? So
Yeah.
focus, if you want, here, let's do this way. If you'd like a reading based on this, just type in me. And how's that sound, Betsy?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. That is definitely helpful.
so and I think it's one of those things that it's a good idea just to go, what is it that, what do you want? So,
Yeah. And I've got to say, Pamela, this is interesting. We have no free will according to new thinking on the subject.
mhm,
I will never agree with that. I know
there
you're
you
not
go.
supposed to say never, but I don't think I'd ever agree with that.
Yeah. Hi, Sue Toffee. And I got Candy said, co creators for sure. We are so much more connected than this fast paced life would like us to believe. Slowing down is a starter for 10. Yep. And okay. Okay. So right now we have 7 readings. So
I'm not
um,
sure we'll get to all of them, gang.
we'll do what we can. And so first up, we'll do hypnicity. So spirit guide information to support hypnicity. And I'm like, which deck do they want me to
I
use?
know. I'm looking. Because I have my helpers here. I'm gonna because this one is multi-layered. They're telling me this is not a one and done kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That there's because what are you wanting to create? So what do you want to create? What do you wish to create? Okay, so I did pull a chakra card, and
Oh, that's always a good thing.
yeah, throat chakra. So this is about self-expression, creating a world in which you are able to express yourself honestly, with authority, um, assertiveness, to be able to communicate your expectations and your needs clearly. This is a calling to you about expressing your needs to the appropriate channels at the appropriate times clearly, and not being not feeling like you will be labeled as bad for expressing your needs. This is probably something that is a childhood coping mechanism about trying to stay safe and not expressing your needs. But beginning to learn how to express your needs clearly and succinctly. Then they're talking about this too, is when, oh, this is perfect. Gosh, thank you guys. So what do you want to create? So if you're needing to have a conversation with someone about what you want and what you need right now for yourself, to care for yourself, you will need to figure out a way to wrap it up succinctly for the other person so they can understand very clearly what that one need is for you from them.
Yes.
And this will help you define what it is you want to create in your world.
Mm-hmm. Well, and she says, a recurring theme in my readings, I'm more comfortable watching from my safe shell. Well, here's the thing is I've got the Queen of Cups. It's time for you to really start leaning in and following that emotion. And I like how you were talking about using your throat chakra to be able to articulate it. Because if you can articulate it, then you can make it happen. This is the Ace of Wands. And I think that's really critical because what you're feeling, you can put into words, and therefore you can manifest it and you can make it happen.
Sometimes the feelings get to swirling around like a tornado all around us, and it can be overwhelming. And how do you describe that to someone? Well, sometimes the feelings and all of that story is interesting, perhaps not relevant. The relevance is
Sure.
what you need. Here's what I'm
Yes.
feeling. Here's what I need. Other people cannot assist you in transforming or transmuting your emotional swirl.
Mm-hmm.
But defining what it is you need from others helps you process your feelings.
Well said. Well said. All right, we're doing these out of order, and I'm going to do Candy, Soul, and Soil next because last time she was here, she had to leave and help Tilly with something. So, what is it what spirit guide information to support you in creating what you want to create?
Oh, Candy, they're waiting for you to open a door. They have an invitation to provide you with a gift. It seems like this is probably an etheric gift. It's an energetic gift. It may be something about furthering your divination skills, but I want to say it's probably more like telepathy skills. Your guides are waiting for you to open a door for them and invite them in with it. That this is something that you actually know that is, no, this is something that resonates for you, and that improving this telepathy skill with your team is comforting, desirable, helpful, rewarding for you. This is a little bit more of a personal thing than a public thing. Yes, it will take your divination skills to a new level, but it's really a personal relationship for you with your spirit team. And it's something that for some reason or other, you're thinking that it's something that you've been putting off in the future for a reason in your own head. And your guides are telling you that this is really not a valid reason, that they are open, willing, and available for you to make this transition whenever you see fit. But they want you to know that the delay is because you're thinking that either you're not ready, you're not worthy, or it's not time yet. You're busy. You've got a lot of other stuff to do. And, oh, okay, you're busy, you've got a lot of stuff to do, you're thinking it may take you away from your responsibilities, and they want to assure you that that is not part of the process, that they're not trying to take you away from the earthly obligations that you may have, that this is simply about opening up your relationship with them first, that there is a gestation period for
Mm.
these for these skills, this new skill set, that it'll be a relationship working with them as you become as you gain understanding of what this is, that very quickly in your any kind of readings you might do for others, you're going to notice a difference in the depth of the divination abilities, but this isn't going to be something that's going to take over your world just yet.
That's really, really beautiful, because as I was feeling what you were saying, part of what's happening is there's this energetic portal that, I mean, you had mentioned a doorway. There's this door, there's this portal that you can energetically reach. It feels like you've walked around, you've been in an environment that has that portal available to you. And because Candy does some wonderful, she's out in nature, she's taking dogs, doing stuff with the children and herself. Um, oh, really fast. There's a bit of a portal energy around. It's really fast, isn't it?
Because that was the first thing they showed me, was one of her walkthrough videos at Glastonbury when she was at the well and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Gerald. I
No,
disrupted.
no. But it feels very much like there's a whole lot of crows involved, and this is part of a leading you and helping and guiding, and there's this. It's a very exciting energy. It's the Knight of Cups, very, very exciting. It's also the Two of Cups. It's also a very healing and mutually beneficial relationship. Because then what's going to happen is we have then the Queen of Swords.
Sorry, it sounds like there's a jet landing on my house right now. So that's telling me you're on target there.
and
That was
and
weird.
and, and so the end result is you're going to have this ability to help manifest and to move things along for you. The Queen of Swords is she is very articulate, extremely intelligent,
Would you
and
put that card back up, Gerald? I'm fascinated by the flamingo.
oh, this one.
Yeah, I mean, just put that flamingo out in your yard. I mean, America had them everywhere in the 50s and
Yep.
60s. Put that flamingo up somewhere, girl. The
And
mother has arrived.
Matcha sent a white horse, so it's amazing. The card has a white horse on it. Yeah, I mean, and it's truly it's one of these things that it's like it's like it's the right time. Things have been leading up to this. You're not doing anything, you're not slow or anything like that. The things are lining up. These are things that you've put into place. Part of
Also,
me is
you have stuff on Earth that you needed to be present for too.
yes, yeah. So thanks, Candy. And
That was
and Beth said the mothership has arrived for you, Betsy.
apparently they fooled me because I didn't beam up. So here we are.
There you go. All right, we're gonna do Linda and then Sue, Tropical Empress and Spirit, and then we got Linda Kelser. We'll try to get through everybody. You're very welcome, Candy. So, Linda, spirit guide information to support you in creating what you want to create.
Okay.
Tila and I will mark you. I'm not sure we're going to have a chance to get to you because we're trying to keep as close to an hour as we can.
And the question is on the crawl about what we're reading on, if we can get to you.
Yep. So.
And Linda is.
Yep.
There.
Linda is here for it.
Okay. Linda is here for it. Spirit guide on support in her creating. You guys, I know it's the right deck. Why don't I have the card? Where's my card?
Well, I
This,
have. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go for it, please. Ah, there it is, finally. Hello.
Um, I think part of what the message is spirit guide information is you need to be willing to dream bigger and not limit yourself, because I have 7 of Cups, I have the King of Cups, because you're mature, you understand how you are feeling about things, you're also paying attention to that. The spirit guide information is suggesting of you need to dream a little bit bigger, and the listen to me, you don't know because I'm telling you. Stop overthinking it. The 10 of Swords. I mean, you're getting stuck in this. Oh, this and this and this and this and this. It's like that's countered with the King of Cups. Just recognize build the emotion around what it is that you want, and let the thought process go. Because this is intuitively based. It's a healing center. Follow that along. So, what do you have for her?
I have Uranus energy, the Great Awakener. And the suggestion here is be prepared for discomfort. But I got a companion card, Aries. Take the lead. It may be uncomfortable, lead nonetheless. If it's a new space, if the growth feels, the expansion feels, it's interesting. What I'm feeling is, while the chest is opening and being ripped apart, it still feels like an immense amount of pressure. It feels like it's compression, but it's blowing open at the same time. I don't know exactly how to describe that, other than it may be uncomfortable, but it's definitely your time to lead it.
It's the going inward so that you can go out. It's this balance. It's a really bizarre thing.
It's weird. It's almost like some kind of nuclear reaction of where particles are coming in and pressing down to explode.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's very exciting, Linda. Thank you for being here. Let us know what you think about that. That's pretty amazing.
Not going to say it ain't a challenge, but do it, because you're going to really like the outcome.
Yes. And okay, so is Sue Toffee, Tropical Empress in Spirit, and Linda Kelzer. Please tell me if you were here. Linda Kelzer, Tropical Empress in Spirit, and Sue Toffee. And and Linda did say, well, that's a good description of what's going on.
Great. Glad it worked.
There you go. All right. Tropical Empress is here. We'll start. Tropical Empress would like spirit guide information to support them in creating what they want to create. And then Sue, I see you, and Linda Kelzer. Great. Thank you. Woohoo.
Oh, I'm being told that you're going to get a yes or no answer from your team here. Oh. Okay. Your answer is yes. Whatever it is you're working on, yes. Mm-hmm. Continue on. They're even telling me, don't throw anything in here. You're just going to muck it up. But they used a word that begins with an F. You're going to muck it up. Keep your nose out of it. Leave these poor people alone to continue on what they're doing. They're doing everything. They're doing all the things.
And you need to be inspired the inspiration that you're waiting to find inspiration. Look around you because it's already there. This is the Ace of Wands. Second time I've gotten this card today. So we're all being inspired. I think get that inspiration.
And it's
then
the act of creating, right?
yes, it is the act of creating. Because then I have the Knight of Swords. Get out there and do something with it. Don't wait. Be inspired. Be irrational, sort of thing. Just go ahead and do it. It is going to, I mean, there's a thing where you may be overthinking things. You may be putting blocks up to where they aren't. Stop that. Write it down. Get your thought processes out there. Get it on paper so it's not here and interfering with the act of creating.
The inner critic again.
Inner critic. Yep. Stop that inner critic. Put it in timeout.
And by the way, sir, what is that deck? It's got all the horsies on there, and you're killing me over here.
This is the textured tarot.
Oh, God. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. And, Etsy, because Lisa McLaughlin art. Yeah, there's a new edition of it too, I believe. So, but all right.
Yeah. If it stays with me in my head after the show, okay. If not, it's okay too. That is really killing me, that deck over here. Jeez.
And Tropical Empress and Spirit said, beautiful. It all resonated, or all resonates.
Cool.
And Sue Toffee is up. So what spirit guide information to support Sue Toffee in creating what Sue Toffee wants to create?
Okay. They didn't allow me to pick a card. They told me what to pick, and they told me to pick that this is it, sacral chakra. Okay. So this isn't what you're thinking it is, because most people think second chakra, Anyway, for me, this is universal contribution. So whatever it is you're thinking about creating, take it from, that's really what you want to say. They say you need to step out of seeing it from a selfish point of view about how it can benefit you, and put it into how it benefits your community. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't need to be global scale. It could be global scale, but it doesn't need to be global scale. To step out of thinking that this is achievement oriented, achievement based, and it's really about a more of a community driven spirit about what you can do to make a difference near you. Doesn't have to be out there. Bring it to you, bring it home. Oh, they're saying in wanting to put it out there, it removes some of the fear of criticism, because it's so far flung away from you that the people that receive it, however they receive it, the feedback may not be able to reach you. And they're saying in order for this to really turn into what you desire it to be, to bring it to your community, to interact with the people that you're in the process with, so you can hear what they have to say about this. That as you receive feedback from others, and they're not saying this isn't criticism. Don't be afraid of criticism. When you receive feedback about what works and what doesn't work, this will help you walk towards your ultimate goal.
Yes. Well, and I absolutely love that, because Sue Toffee, what I have the Wheel of Fortune, which reminds us that everything changes. And then we have the World. And I love that these two have a circle on them. And part of it says to me, Sue Toffee, is, and we've got the circle there. Part of it says to me is your spirit guide message, be willing to pivot, be willing to adjust, be willing to see what is possible, and to say yes as often as possible, because in between those, it's the Seven of Cups, a duplicate card. And this is the seeing all of the possibilities. So spirit guides are saying, look at me, you have the ability to see possibilities and options where others are not, and enjoy that. Bring that out and let them come to fruition. So thank you, Sutafi. Let us know what you think about that. And Sylvia said, Betsy, you spoke on law of attraction. Some people help others to avoid themselves, yet that isn't good either. Yet in all, it boomerang back to you. So perhaps this energy of the Aquarian age is going forward. I don't know.
So I think people that are codependent and place everyone else's comfort level above theirs, prioritize others over themselves, are what I believe a lot of that is about, is trying to protect themselves by making everybody else happy and comfortable and controlling the situation, so you control the outcome and what happens to you because of that. And I think when you're putting that energy out there, hey, I'm talking about me. Okay. When you put that energy out there of always trying to set up the situation for other people's comfort levels, it is a disempowering way of functioning, because you're still at the mercy of how people respond to you. So if your best efforts don't work out the way you hoped and people are not happy with you, then it becomes a cataclysmic response for me.
Right.
So I think that is still the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Sue. Let us know if that made sense. And Linda Kelzer is our last one, because we were just at the over. And Sue Toffee said, thank you, Gerald and Betsy. Very uplifting. I'll keep going. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And so, so what for Linda, what spirit guide information to support Linda in creating what Linda wants to create? And I do appreciate everybody being here. Thank you very, very much. Do the like, share, and subscribe things. And both Betsy and I offer private readings. So if you want information and more in-depth reading, reach out to us. So okay, Linda. What your spirit guides want you to do is they want you to take a leap of faith. This is the Fool, and this is that it's that you need to start. You need to put it out there, and you need to no, you don't have to put leggings on, and you don't have to do all of that stuff, but you do need to start with a sense of divine innocence as you approach this. Be willing to step out and be willing to meet what's there, because you have a whole lot of support. I have the 10 of Pentacles. Your spirit guides are wide and varied and available to help you. Guess what? You're learning, Linda, how to approach things a little differently than what you normally would. I have the Page of Swords. Linda, it feels like you might be wanting to do a little bit of research, pick up a book, get curious about something, find reliable information so that you know what rules you can break. So, because there's this sense of curiosity that needs to take place. So, what do you got, Betsy?
I love that. And I got this. Eris, Discord and Strife. And so this one, this is a new deck for me, so I'm learning it. Eris is a dwarf planet named after the goddess of discord and strife. And the buzzwords here are about inner strength, inner warrior, feminine energy, self-forgiveness, So yeah, seems to be stepping up your own inner resources. Channel any suppressed anger into a strength, and
Mhm.
deciding what direction serves you best when you're charged up with this energy, this fire that's in there waiting to be expressed.
Mhm.
What were your other cards, Gerald? I got a little distracted.
No, that's okay. I had the Fool. So
Mm-hmm.
that really is that divine innocence. I had the 10 of Pentacles, which is multi-generational support. It's a well-balanced family. It's great balance. And then the Page of Swords, which is learning something new, in particular to help you figure out where you want to go. I mean, this page has actually got a telescope in it. Well, that's not a telescope. What is that called?
Spyglass?
Spyglass. So so but this is that, and and they're standing on books. So get some new information. Get some new information, because I think also your spirit guides are suggesting that what you were thinking about before has actually got some new information around it to help you understand it at a deeper level. I think it's one of those things that science is actually caught up to the spirituality.
Oh, love that.
So yeah. Thank you, Linda. Let us know how that was. And Sylvia had a question just in general. And it seems to work for spirit guides. It seems to work for spirit guides always in service. Do they rest or work their way up? Is that part of the universal creator model? I think it's like, do the spirit guides are always in service. So I don't know.
I think that
Sort of.
that this to me says that there is an order of ways things are always done. This is the way it is. And that doesn't resonate for me, in that I don't believe there are necessarily rules. And I think our human mind wants to define things in a
We
particular order so we can make
Yeah.
sense of it. But my experience in doing what I do is that our mind is too limited to imagine all the range of possibilities there are to us.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any singular description of how the universe works. Sorry.
Sylvia said that makes sense, Betsy. And it's an interesting question, Sylvia, and that could be, that's something you could do for a show, Sylvia.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to hear you have that conversation with your spirit guides. So it's like, that could be a lot of fun. Jules, learning to listen, is here. Hello, thank you for joining us. And Beth is must run. Little Dewdrop has the annual checkup with the vet.
Bye.
And Pamela said, I don't really feel my guide family as individuals, rather energies and ways of being.
Yeah, I concur. There's just so much up there going around for me. It's hard to pick one to describe, let alone when there's just like a parade going by.
Yeah. And hi, Plucky.
Hi, Plecky. Hi.
And Peace Mama says, I agree, Betsy. I feel that same weight after having died for a few minutes when I was a child. So that's some weight. So, and but Sylvia, I think that's a really interesting. I think it's a really interesting thing to consider and to have a conversation about, because it really does put into, what are spirit guides, and do you have the same one? Do they support each other? I like that family of energies supporting us, so readily available.
I'm having a little bit of a snarky recoil about it because I have a memory of me as a spirit guide, like the Peanuts cartoon with Charlie Brown and Lucy and the football, that Lucy's always like, no, really, I mean it this time, and Charlie Brown ends up on his butt every time. Well, I have things about my charges, begging and pleading, oh, we're in a famine, we've got a plague, we need help, please give us faith. Show yourself to us so we know you exist and we know that you're behind us helping us. So I'm like, okay, they're really in a pickle this time. I'm going to go down there and manifest for them so they can see me, go down, manifest, the usual running and screaming and terror, and me getting in a funk about it and saying, okay, that's it. I am
Yeah.
not guiding nobody. These humans are ridiculous. You cannot work with these things. These people, you cannot work with them. That's it. I'm done. I'm resigning. And guess what? Ta-da! Here I am.
Yeah, you resigned and you got to come down and be, to have the experience.
Yeah. So
Congratulations.
I have a lot of baggage about that.
Yeah. So, well, I want to thank everybody for watching. This has been wonderful. Betsy, thank you for sharing space with me. It's delightful to be here with you. We are working on a show in perhaps in August with Hexa and Hershey. So that I'm hoping we can get that rescheduled. And we will be seeing everybody later. And by all means, if you want to reach out to either of us, links are below on how to do that. Because if you want more in-depth reading, we can do that. And so it's like they think they are ready to see a full body apparition until it happens, and then people freak out. Yeah, of course. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And you're welcome, Linda, and you're welcome, Peace Mama. And Betsy, have a wonderful rest of your day. Are you going to go to the beach?
I am going to go for a swim. You betcha.
Beautiful. All right. Everybody take care. Bye.